throw some open remarks for Coach Locksley and questions.
Yeah, obviously we'll have to give credit to Penn State. They were able to have their way with us today. I thought we were able to move the ball early in the game. The early fumble, our failed 4th and 1. Those are the type of plays in critical situations where we've got to be able to execute at a higher rate. Obviously we struggled to run the ball today. You give some credit to Penn State's front. They are, as advertised, a good front, but I don't think they're 51-15 better than us. And so to me, that's where I don't think we played to our potential. And when you don't play to your potential, the first place you look is at me. And I have no problem with owning that. And my job is to get us to play to our potential. We got to learn from this and kind of flush it quickly. We still have an opportunity, a tough road game next week against Nebraska. I don't see anybody in that locker room quitting. We're obviously facing adversity as a program, and the only way to get out of it is to work. And our guys have continued to give us the work doing Monday through Friday, but we just have not played well or executed on Saturday. And I've got to get and find a way to get us to play next Saturday. So we'll get this flushed. We'll get back to work on Monday, and we'll start preparing to find a way to go to Nebraska and get a road win. With that, I'll open it up to questions.
Ask that question, raise your hand. We'll get you a mic. We'll start to your right.
Like Penn State defensively in the second half, I think they held you guys to 63 yards. And those first 2 possessions in that third quarter, they really kind of did some things. What, in your eyes, did you see there?
Well, it starts with being able to cover people up in the run game. And then, when you don't have the ability to run the ball the way we wanted to try to establish it, we wanted to run the ball out of spread sets, and for whatever reason, we couldn't cover people up. And then you get into where you're behind the sticks and you're forced to throw the ball. And we didn't hold up in protection. The interior part of our protection, whether it's the centers and the guards or our backs on those linebackers, they outplayed us. And, we had hats for hats, so it wasn't as if guys were coming free, but we didn't win the one-on-one battles against a really good front 7, which we expected. We just got to be able to protect our quarterback a little bit better, to give him time when he was given time, and when we were able to get the ball out quick. We had success. But to not be able to run the ball this time of year is something that we've got to get fixed and figure out what's the best way, who are the best people, what's the best personnel, and figure out how to be able to establish a little bit more of a run in a game like this.
Coach, you talked about the run game struggles. When you talk about not being able to cover people up, is that a scheme thing? Is that a technique thing? What's going on there?
It's execution thing. When you spread the box out, they create 5 one-on-ones, and when you got 5 guys up front that have to cover the guy up, they have to block their man. The key is not letting your man get in on the play. And we're on edges today. We didn't cover people up, and the run game didn't ever get started.
And then with Talia in the second half with the pick, the fumble, and some of the sacks that he took, is it frustrating to see a veteran making some of those kind of plays?
Yeah, you know what? We've got to take care of the football. He's a veteran quarterback. The fumble there, he's got one hand on the ball, scrambling around. The interception, is a predetermined deal. Ball shouldn't even been over there. So what we've got to do is get him settled. Obviously, when you're down and you're down 2 scores and we're trying to make a comeback, you try to force some things. But what we've got to do is not abandon our training, and that's across the board, not just the quarterback. The protection and up front. He's a better quarterback when those A and B gaps are really firm, to where his eyes don't drop on watching the rush, and he's got to take better care of the football.
Hey, Mike.
George?
Only 7, I hate to harp on the running game, but only 7 combined carries between your 3 running backs. Is it because when you get down early like that, it's hard to establish that, and then you just want to go to the passing quicker?
Early on, we went for it on 4th and 1 on our side of the 50, which put us behind the sticks. We wanted to be really aggressive. We didn't come here to try to play close. We came here to be aggressive, and we got to execute in critical situations. When you get down 2 scores, we're driving the ball down and Ty puts it on the ground, and now you're down 14 points. And, what we can't do is abandon the run. And again, we've got to continue. When we tried to run the ball, and it just seems like guys are unblocked inside, and you're trying to establish the run. And sometimes what happens is you get spooked out of it, but, we've got to continue to coach those guys through it. We've got to have continue to have a better plan to figure out, how to efficiently run the football.
Mike, last couple of weeks, you've been able to get some pressure on the quarterback today, 1 sack. What was the difference in Aller being able to kind of?
Yeah, they match protected. I mean, they did a really good job. They kept some tight ends in. They threw shots, and you know, whether it was the chop route or the outside fade, I think we gave up a couple of slants early, which, you know, when you want to pressure people and you line up in and bring the type of heat we tried to bring, if they keep 7 in, we've just got to win on the outside, which we thought we matched up well. We gave up a couple of slants, and so when you bring in 0 pressure, the goal is to force them to throw the fade, force them to throw the ball outside, and we lost leverage a couple of times early, which allowed big plays. And so when you want to bring pressure and force them to throw it, you know, we just didn't match up well on the outside and didn't play well enough.
Hey, Lox, right here.
Okay.
Hey,
Alex.
how you doing? I know you guys were 5-0 and had a lead against Ohio State, a chance to go 6-0. Now to be sitting here 4 losses later, how much more frustrating does that make today? And I know you talked about kind of being in adversity. What's, I guess, your message to the team just about being in this spot now after the aspirations you had and just where you guys are in this position right now?
Yeah, you know what? We just, you know, every game is about the next one. And so, you know, what we've got to do is obviously make the corrections from the day. I mean, give Penn State credit. They're a top 10 team. They came in here and they kicked our butts. And we got outplayed and outcoached. We didn't make plays in any of the 3 phases that we're going to need to make consistently. With that being said, we still sit here with 5 wins with an opportunity to get to 6. It's not going to be an easy task. We've got to, you know, rally the troops. We've got to come, remain really close knit as a team, and understand that the only people that can fix it are us. You know, we can't look for opponents to give us anything. We can't look for help from outside. We've got to just make the decision that, you know, we're going to keep doing the work. We're going to keep showing up. We'll go to Lincoln and put together a good plan and try to figure out a way to get number 6 on the road.
Thank you.
2 more, I'll go to the second row.
You talked a little bit about the protection that Aller was given, and when he had that protection, he looked very poised. What do you attribute to his success that he had today, having, you know, one of the better games of his career so far?
You know what? I mean, he protected the football. You know, going into this game, the things we said we needed to do to win was obviously protect the football. We finished with 4 turnovers. They don't. He's been one of those guys that has protected the ball. They've done a really good job on their side of not giving up those balls and not giving up the ball in terms of turning it over. He made some throws today. The goal was to make him beat us throwing the ball, and he did that today. Credit to him.
Last one, Courtney, on your right.
Mike, past few weeks, obviously you mentioned how you guys need to win the turnover battle. When you look at a game today, when you lose it 4-0, you know, what do you tell your team, and then in future weeks, how do you clean that up?
Well, you know, of the 4 turnovers, the one that gets us are the ones that happen in critical situations. The tie fumble, you know, every game has 1 or 2 plays that kind of dictate the outcome of it. And, you know, we've had that the last 3 weeks in terms of, you know, the first half, not getting the goal line touchdown against Northwestern, the turnover before the half against Illinois. We're driving down and Ty puts the ball on the ground. And, you know, again, he's trying to give us the extra effort, but, you know, what we've got to do is protect the football. You know, those ones at the end, you know, come sometimes when you're trying to do too much. I mean, our quarterback's got to protect the ball. You know, we made a poor decision on the interception there. You know, we had a guy open on the other side, and I think sometimes when you get behind the way we were, we tried to force some things, and we just can't abandon our training. We've got to stay within the framework of our offense, our defense, and our special team schemes, and just really focus on taking better care of the ball.
All right, thank you, Coach.
All right, thanks.